Wherever we go. Hey, thank you for joining me on the mat today. I am Lauri and we have prepared for you a Let Your Qi Flow introduction to Qigong. So Qigong is an ancient practice, a combination of breath work, meditation, movement, just created to help you release the flow of your life force and tap into your higher power and guidance. And Robert Keller is here again today to help us. So with this extra special practice, and I have an extra special guest. Thank you. So Robert is going to share his 25 years plus of experience in Chinese medicine, and part of Chinese medicine that we talked about, and it's a creativity thing, is a Qigong. And so I am going to pass the instruction over to our very extra special guest today, and he's going to lead us in a Qigong practice. Okay. So get comfy. And one more thing, as you can see, we're on sofas, really casual today. It's a practice that you can do anywhere, anytime. You don't need special clothes, special props, just whatever you need to be comfortable.
Right.
Okay, now I'm going to pass it over.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do today is really like a breathing exercise. So it's to help get the qi moving through all of the acupuncture channels and meridians, internally with breathing. And like this is the foundation for the larger practices. Like people typically see movement, like they're used to maybe Tai Chi or yoga or Qi, moving Qigong practices. But really breathing is the foundation for it all.
Right.
Using your breath and using your mind to guide your breath. So that can be done anywhere, anytime, just sitting. Doesn't require a change of clothes, doesn't require sweating, doesn't require complex videos or anything. It's easy to do.
Benefit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
definitely. So yeah,
right.
Here we are.
Okay,
get comfy.
So we'll kind of start from the beginning.
Our shoes are off.
Shoes are off, that's always good.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a basic but powerful breathing exercise for opening up the channels, all the channels in the body. And it starts by focusing on the first acupuncture channels that form, the governing vessel and the bladder channel next to it, that in acupuncture run along the spine and the muscles next to it. But internally, there are a set of kind of tubes that we're going to be focusing on for this exercise today. Okay, so the first thing, and we'll just kind of run through it all, is just to center into the practice, to do a little bit of just meditation for a minute and settle the mind, settle the body. So we're sitting cross-legged, but you can sit with your feet on the floor, you can sit on a chair. If you need to lie down, that's okay too. It's whatever's comfortable. Okay, so we're sitting like this, my hands in my lap, back elongated, head kind of pointed up, and then tilted down a little bit. The mouth is open just a little, like the Chinese say, like there's a grain of rice or barley between your lips, so just a little bit. And then your eyes are open and slightly relaxed and just kind of looking down but not staring at anything. And then meditation, this part is simple. You just relax and breathe naturally. We'll just do it for, maybe like 30 seconds to get centered for this. The breathing is just relaxed. Like it says in old like Chinese books, like Taoist books, that if you had a feather in front of your nostril and mouth, it wouldn't even move. Like your breathing is so smooth. Still working on that one. can do that for as long as you want. You can do that for a minute or an hour, whatever feels good. Okay, so now the instruction, like for the practice. So we're going to visualize 3 channels. And in the center of the body, starting in the lower abdomen and running to the top of the head, is kind of like a tube or a channel about the diameter or so of the thumb. And then on either side of it, a smaller channel, maybe like the pinky or a pencil, that runs up to the top of the head, but instead of coming out of the crown, runs down the front and out like into the nostril. So these kind of curve, and then there's one in the center. So let's talk about each of these channels for a minute. In the center, the channel is, the color for it is blue. And this is the channel that gets obstructed, like we say, like by phlegm and ignorance. And we clear this channel to get clarity and wisdom. And then on either side of these 2 channels, there's kind of colors and associations with them. So on the left, let's just see which way I want to do this. Yeah, on the left, the channel is red, and this has to do like with future, and the obstruction of it, they say, is like a desire or attachment or clinging. So clearing this channel gives rise to like generosity and letting go. And on the right, the channel is white, and it has to do with like past, and the emotion is anger that goes with it. And so clearing this helps to generate compassion or benevolence. And so these are kind of considered the basic like sort of poisons that we have, like attachment, anger, and ignorance. And the purpose of this practice is to help kind of clear these obstructions, and then opening up all of the acupuncture channels and meridians that run through the body. I mean, there are 73 main channels, but there's like thousands of little vessels that run, that run through the body. And when we do this, like we're pressurizing the whole network system, and like getting rid of these obstructions of wind and phlegm and bile, and clearing us so that we can have more creative expression and more happiness and more health, because the qi is flowing smoothly. The idea is that we get sick or have illness or pain when there's obstruction of qi flow. So this is a very basic but sort of most important way of opening up the flow of qi in the body. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Love that explanation.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So this is called like 9 breathings or 9 breaths of purification. And what we're going to do is breathe in and out of each channel 3 times to clear it. So this kind of conceptual stuff we do in the beginning, but then when we actually do the practice, you let that go and you just kind of feel it and do it. So this kind of heady stuff is just in the beginning to connect with it, right? So when you're breathing, you don't have to be thinking about what color is it or which side or I don't remember. You just think about this in the beginning, that we have these, you can visualize these channels, and that we're going to clear them, and yeah. So anger clears and transforms into benevolence or compassion, and attachment into generosity, and ignorance into wisdom. Okay?
So I don't necessarily need to be, I can be thinking about that as I'm doing it, but not necessarily.
I like to think about, and the way I was taught is to sort of think about it in the beginning as a way of connecting with it, and then let it go, and then just be there and do it.
Right.
Okay, so you're just practicing on the felt experience rather than being like in your head about it.
Right.
Yeah. So the way this happens, like we'll start, since in this system the right channel represents the past, like past karma, past traces, we're going to clear this first. So we start by breathing in the left and then out of the right, and then For the next step, we'll breathe in the right and out the left, and then we'll do in both and out of the center. And typically when you do this, we're going to breathe in and breathe deeply and hold it. And the chi or air will go up one channel, move over, we hold it, and then kind of forcefully blow it out. So we're imagining breathing in like sort of white, clear, luminous light. And then when we breathe out, you can imagine however you like relate to it, dark or cloudy or colored, like impurifications or whatever stuff is in there just kind of comes out. So that when we're done the practice, like everything just seems clear and free-flowing and without blockage.
Okay. I want to interject one thing here, if I may.
Great.
Blow your nose first, please.
Really good idea.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you have a tissue on hand, use it before we start.
Right.
You'll be grateful once we start.
This is very true.
So, forgot that in the props. Yeah.
That's right.
So.
Okay.
Continue, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and do the practice.
Okay.
And you can just follow along. So watching on TV, you can actually just kind of do it counter, like, or if you want to just mirror it, then you'll have the opposite practice. It doesn't really matter, but like I'm starting by holding my right nostril and then changing over and breathing out there. Okay, so I'm starting this way, but either way is okay. So we're going to breathe in the left nostril and then out of the white right channel. And it looks like this. Hold, and then really blow it out of the right side. Okay, so for practice, let's really do this. We're going to do it 3 times. We're going to do 3 breaths blowing out of the right nostril and right channel. Just rest for a minute. Okay, so now we're going to just change sides and we're going to breathe in through the right and out through the left. So we're clearing the left channel now. Okay, ready? I'll just add a little commentary. So I was breathing a little bit more forcefully on the left side. So the instruction that goes with this is to have a little bit more force when you breathe out of the left nostril. And the reason is because if we just divide the body into 2s instead of 3s in this case, the teaching is that the left side and the left channel is like the wisdom channel and the wisdom side. So we're breathing out more forcefully to really clear obstruction from that. So in Chinese medicine, like typically we teach people, and you know the old teachings kind of say that we should sleep on our right side. There's a physical reason for this. It opens up the heart, allows blood to flow back into our liver, which typically swells with blood at night. And in Chinese medicine, we say then the hun, or the ethereal soul, can be rooted, so we don't float around and we have good, good sleep. and it's good for digestion and bowels, because the stomach can this way empty in the right direction. But the other reason for it is that, like, if we're sleeping the way that it says in Chinese medicine to sleep like this, or like holding the nose, it closes off like the ignorance sort of channel or side and opens up the wisdom side. So if you're kind of doing this on a spiritual or a psychological kind of orientation, opening up and having a little more force with the practice on the left side is to open up like our capacity for clarity and wisdom.
Love it. The extra added, yeah. And yoga, we when you come up out of Shavasana, you turn to your right side.
Oh.
For, I guess, most of those reasons, although they're not usually communicated.
So
in a class,
not spoken that way, but the purpose is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So.
Okay.
All
right. And then finally, the last one is to clear this central channel. So the center channel in acupuncture is the governing vessel, and it's the place that stores all of the yang, qi, and life force in the body. So it's rooted in the lower abdomen and then comes up this channel to the top of the head, and then all the acupuncture channels and organs and meridians arise out of that. So like this is the really important one. This is sort of the point of all of it. And like if you just need a short version of a practice, even if it's just to get centered or for 10 seconds, then what we do is just put the attention onto this center channel. We don't have to even do the whole practice. You can just focus on the center meridian as a way of, I guess literally getting centered or something like that. Okay.
That's where that term comes from.
That's where that term comes from, right. Okay, so we're going to, in this case, just breathe in through both nostrils and then hold the nostrils so we can pressurize a little bit and then forcefully blow out, not literally through the top of the head, of course, but conceptually we want to sort of feel it coming, the air and the qi coming up and going all the way out of the top. But of course we're physically just blowing out of our nose. Okay? Okay, so. Hold. Okay, so now you want to just take a minute or 5 or 10 or whatever you want, and then just feel this. Imagine that the channels are cleared and all the qi is moving in the body. Typically in Chinese style meditation and visualization, we're imagining the end result, not really focusing on the blockages and trying to chip them away, but just seeing the body is already healed and purified and the energy moving. So you kind of just see that state that we believe is already sort of our natural state. It's already in there. So we're just kind of tapping into that and imagining that it's already been done. So we can just sort of sit in that state for a minute. Whenever you're ready, you can just kind of come out of that state. if you want like the full practice, then the way the teaching goes is you take that central channel and you sort of shrink it down and dissolve it into a little point, and it just gets stored in the center of your heart, because that's sort of where it conceptually resides anyway. Like our inner nature is kind of in the center of the heart. So we do this practice and then we kind of store it in there. And like since we're talking about channels, I'll just sort of add the Chinese, like in Chinese medicine, there's this idea of like this secret inner channel of the heart that comes from the center of the heart, like where this nature or Tao is, and it comes out like through the center of the pupils. So in our regular life, like we see with our physical eyes, we just like see things, through our physical senses. But when we do this kind of practice, we can open up this secret channel, and then we can kind of see things directly through this, like through this secret channel where we see, like the Tao or true nature or, whatever it is that people want to, call it. So we have that ability to do these practices, remember that, make contact with it, and then experience the world in a different way.
Wow. I'm so chill right now. This is wonderful. So would you at this point go through that series again, or?
So it depends. Sometimes I would just go through that again, and then depending like how much time I have, I might move into more movement exercises, which I think we probably don't have time for, today. But sometimes I might just take that into like a little bit more of a visualization too, which we could do for a minute or two if we want to get into a little bit more.
So a guided.
Yeah,
you
just
could
like
maybe do a guided visualization.
Yeah, just for like
Sure.
Really just 2-3 minutes.
Sure.
So now that these channels are open, and I said earlier that all of the organs and channels emerge from this central channel. Now we can just go and kind of look at the organs that are the focus of Chinese medicine and do a little more purification with them, just by kind of seeing them in their healthy state. So we'll just run through them easily. So we can start in the upper burner. So we have upper burner, middle, and lower. These are kind of these divisions where the organs are in Chinese medicine. So the upper burner is the heart and lungs. So we can start with the heart, and you just, whatever your concept of heart is, feeling it, seeing it, whatever you've seen in books or online, you just can see the heart and see it sort of glowing and purified with like a bright red, ruby sort of color. So this is just a visualization. So you can imagine, if you like, breathing in this color light into the heart and then breathing it back out again. But the focus is that the heart is kind of glowing with this red color. And then we can move to the lungs of the upper burner. So the color for the lungs in Chinese medicine is white. So whatever pure white light or pearl, or sometimes for some people it's even like maybe a little bit more clear. But again, just imagining breathing in, this kind of clear light, and then energizing and having purification of the lungs that kind of radiate this color, white. And then we'll move into the middle burner. So this is where the liver and spleen are. So we can start with the liver, which is on the right side of the body. And the color for the liver is green. I'll say something more about this at the end, but this is green. So deep emerald green, or like tree leaves, or whatever it is that you imagine, breathing in this color light, energizing and purifying this organ, and then just staying with it for a minute. to the spleen, and this is yellow. This is more over on the left side, is where the spleen physically is. So yellow, amber, whatever you resonate with, breathing in this color of light, cleaning the organ, energizing it, feeling it in this state. Finally into the lower burner where the kidneys are. So the kidneys are kind of around here in the low back, like this level. And the color is like blue, deep blue, ocean blue, or sapphire, or sky blue. Breathing in this blue color, purifying that organ, charging it up, staying with that for a minute. At the end is putting your attention to all of these organs. Heart is red, lungs are white, liver green, spleen yellow, kidneys blue, and these are the 5 elements of Chinese medicine: fire, metal, wood, earth, and water. So doing this practice is a way to connect with and just do work on your own without acupuncture or herbs, to balance and strengthen these organs. That's the basic practice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Oh, perfect. Thank you. And thank you. So beautiful intro to Qigong here. Thank you for joining us, and take this and fly however resonates with you, and we'll see you next time on the mat. Peace. Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.